All right, what's going on, guys? It is Monday, May 22nd. So last night was a little slow for some of the pairs we went over. The one pair that actually did move last night was CAD Chef, which was really cool. It didn't really move a lot. I had my take profit pretty tight, and it went down and smashed it real quick, and then went like a few more pips down and reversed. So if anybody took that trade and you're still in it, I'm going to go over whether or not it's still valid. And then took the gold trade. I'm in drawdown on this right now, which I'm not really worried about because I still believe it has like one more push up, and I'll go over why. And then we got a couple other things. So what's weird right now that I'm noticing on the dashboard, um, it's these two pairs right here, CAD Chef and Gold. They are the same, right? So there's like this little, I guess, and I'm just being transparent. It looks like there's like a tiny glitch in it, but I'm going to still validate whether or not these are legit and what we could do in order to capitalize on the continuation of these pairs and peak formations if they are that. Um, yeah, I know there's another version out there. They're all the same. All right, so let's take a look. CAD Chef. Now, I want to show you guys something that I haven't showed yet, but I just got wind of it or just got it last night, and I'm going to be implementing it in what we're doing now. But this is the template that I always use, and I got a new template yesterday, and this is what it looks like. So what you're seeing is a higher time frame candle behind the actual candles month. So I'm on the 15-minute chart right now, so that's why you see the blue and white candles. They're the 15-minute candles, and in the background you see a blue candle and a pinkish candle, and those are the H4 candles in the background, right? So it allows me to capitalize on seeing the higher time frame candlesticks while still remaining on a lower time frame. So I'm on the 15-minute, I can see the 1 hour, I can see the 30, right? I don't need to see those times. I like to stay on the hour and the daily, the 4 hour and the daily. But it kind of just gives us a really cool perspective of how to look at the markets and what's actually happening in between the candlesticks on a higher time frame, right? So I'm on the 15-minute. This is 1 day. So this is exactly what happened in 1 day. And we can either expect it to keep going up or we can expect it to go down, whatever we're going to do. So, and then here is a snippet tool. So I hope I saved it. Damn, I didn't save it. So I'll come back to that. I'll save it for tomorrow. Well, actually, I'm gonna pause this and I'm gonna do this real quick because there's only a couple people on here. So I'm gonna pause the recording. All right, so I'm recording back again, and I just fixed this up. You'll notice that this is a little different. So I'm going to use this today to kind of help break down some things and just go over exactly what I'm seeing just to make things a little easier, but it should be fun. So let's look at the first one, which is CAD Chef, right? So it says 2. This should say 3. I don't know why it says 2, but it should say 3. And we're going to go over here. Let me put this in here real quick. And this is CAD Chef. All right, so our ADR is 3. It's 165. Okay, so the peak formation was up here. This is the peak. It dropped down. Last night we had the push down, which my take profit was down here, made about 0.5%. Wasn't bad. And now it's kind of consolidating out, but let me look at it from a bigger perspective here. So one thing I'm noticing is the tight EMAs, right? So you got tight EMAs all right there. Right. And what that leads to is essentially just consolidation. And when that happens, anything can pretty much happen. So the fact that, and on top of that too, this push down actually took out a couple lows. So this was a low and it wicked beneath it, but it's still technically a low. And on top of that, this isn't divergent. So when I see this and I don't see the divergence, if this goes up, this is only a pullback. So I do believe that we will see another drop down on CAD Chef, but we need to see some sort of push up first for it to drop back down. And that's only based on the the 1 hour. So, and I have the 4 hour candles in the background. The daily, yeah, it kind of looks like it wants to shoot down. We had the bearish overall, but I think what we're gonna see is that push up, a wick, and then a drop. But let me go to the daily. Let me hide this stuff. So it definitely wants to shoot back up. I think it's gonna ride this water, and then once it hits it again, it might drop back down. But let's the 4 hour. The 4 hour is showing signs of it doing what I just said. And then look at the TDI. So it has that shark fin, but it ultimately came back through, and I think it's going to continue to drop. So it's the same move. Continue, drop. So that's going to be fun. So I'm going to say stay onto that aspect of it. This is going to just continue. Don't really see anything else happening. Now let's go to the next pair, gold. Now this one I'm in for a buy, and I'm holding it. So we're going to see exactly what's going to happen with this one, gold. Could take an L. If I do take an L, it is what it is. I'm not worried about it. So the daily. So what I'm noticing here, and especially what I've noticed from my phone, so you have the bearish candle, right? And then the very next candle is that bullish push, but it never takes out the high of that bearish candle. And that ultimately leads me to the belief that we will see a continued drop. And on top of that, too, with the weekly, if you zoom out, we have like 3 hits to the high, all wicks, they're trapping traders. This thing definitely is looking to drop overall. I'm just seeing some smaller time frame pushes up before it does that, because it doesn't usually hit this EMA and then just tank all the way through. It has a structure to it to be able to consolidate on it for a second and then go. Like even over here, there's multiple hits where it goes and stays on it for 3 days. This one, 2 days, 3 days, and then another day I went right through it. Right, this is only the first time, so it might do something in that retrospect to consolidate. If not, I mean here too, right here, hits it, 3 days, drop, hits it, 1, 2, and the third day it rose. So we're gonna see how it plays out, but based on what I'm seeing here too, if I go do the trend line. Right, so we have the trend line here. And the reason I like this the way it is, oh shit, oops, sorry. The reason I like the trend line for the way it is because this thing is in that little channel. And right, and when these channels happen, this is why I think it's really going to go up. It doesn't drop from these types of channels, at least structurally. It's not structurally sound for me to like think that, oh yeah, this is a reversal pattern to go right back down, right? All this tells me is that we're looking for a continuation. And I think because it's consolidating, right? So you have a level 1 W formation, W, level 1 push, break structure right there to the high, and then level 1 consolidation, maybe a level 1 stop hunt. I'll double check, and then from there it goes up, but it most likely will continue up for one more push to meet this structure. And then once it hits that structure, it will look for some sort of reversal. So that's what I really have set on it. So you have the break of structure here, right? Then you have potential pullback. This is just, I got to put another thing on here for like consolidation. But like, this is just the overall pullback right there. And then continuation. And then it'll do another break of structure right to the top. It'll break structure right there. And then continue. So it looks good. Now let's look at, it says USD Chief. It's not like a new trend, but it's 3-day peak formation. I'm only going to go all the way down to here, and then I'll do a couple of the other ones. I mean, that's 5-day. I'm not really going to do that. But USD Chief peak formation high. Let's check it out. Okay. So we got the daily. This one definitely looks like it wants to go up. And just on the daily alone, see how perfect this setup is? You got the one bullish candle and then you have the bearish candle, but it didn't take out the low of the bullish. So what's happening here is just a pullback, one consolidative state Sunday. And then what we see with the TDI is the up and a continuation up to that high. So that's what I'm gonna be looking for. Is that continuation push? And it could go, if it does go up higher, right? We could see it go into, where are we at? This was the first zone. So if it goes higher, we could see it go up to here. First place, and then if it breaks structure there, if it breaks the structure there, then we're gonna see it go up towards this area. In which case, if it goes up that high, then we're seeing it go to this high, to this point, the supply and demand zone, which lines up directly with it. So we'll see how it plays out. But it definitely looks good for buys. And what is it? A peak formation. That's funny. It's a peak formation high, right? And it definitely looked good for a buy. So I wouldn't, this is one of the things that I would just sit here and be like, I don't know if it's going to continue in that direction, but we'll see. If it does drop, it's got one more day drop. But overall, this thing wants to go up. That's what it looks like. It's all pullbacks. So let's look at, well, actually, we'll keep going with this. And it's consolidating, so it's tough to see. But ultimately, I do believe that we are going to see some pushes up like this, right? If it does do that, pullback rise. It's kind of going in line with CAD Chief. If it does want to go down, it's got one more push up, then drop, and then it could match that low and then reverse. It all depends. But what's really got me is daily. Is that daily? Because one thing I've also noticed is that sometimes it doesn't just always shoot directly up, that it could consolidate a little bit more and like go that direction and then move it, make its move. But ultimately, we are going to see this push up because of the break of structure here, right? That broke structure, new high, pullback, rise, right into this zone. But if you want, you can keep it safe, go to that recent high. So that's what I'd be looking for. Now we got EuroCAD. Let's check this thing out. 1 second. Give me 1 second. Okay. EuroCAD, peak formation low, so we're looking for buys. Daily, everything looks like it's going down. If it is a peak formation low, then it's only a pullback because this thing wants to continue to go that way, right? There's a break of structure right here. So this, anything going up at the moment, my opinion, is just a pullback. All pullback. Daily pullback. Let's go to the 4-hour. Four-hour set a peak here. So this looks good. So you have a break of change of character, actually. Change of character right here because price went up. Horrible line. Even though these are wicks, it's still broken price. It still went through. Now, what it could do is consolidate. Okay, look how it's consolidating, right? You got the one big candle, bearish candle, didn't take out the low, and then there's just consolidation. And it's kind of like the same thing with gold, where we have our trend line essentially of liquidity, trap traders there. It's like a bullish flag, if you will, and trap traders there. And they're going to consolidate until they do a breakout to that upper, to that high. Or what they could do, break down low and then high, right? Because we want to be looking for overall positioning on a buy since it's a peak formation low down here. So your best bet is wait for it to break out low, stop hunt low, buy. So that's what I would do. EuroCAD looks good for that, but right now it's kind of stuck. So I would avoid that overall. Now let's go to GA. What did GA do last night? Peak formation high.
Our system will sell on it too.
Did it? It looks like it actually wants to keep going up. It's got the same thing as USD Chief, to be honest. Like, look, see, bullish candle, bearish drop, didn't take out the low, pull back, rise. And on top of that, I mean, it just wicked the blueberry, so there's definitely still potential. It's not overbought. There's no shark fin. So that if anything, if this does drop, it's just a little pullback. That's the weekly, right? That's the weekly. So the daily, let's see. Daily's hard. What it could do is kind of take that drop down to that water area, that 50 EMA. It is consolidating on the EMAs. So you got tight EMAs, right? And this is just the 4 hour. So if I go down to like the 1 hour, yeah, you'll see it. Tight EMAs all over. And when that happens, you get that, oh, it can do this and that and this and that. If this is the peak, this is the peak actually, then this was the pullback. So actually, this was solid, to be honest. And I do believe this is what we talked about last night for a sell, that if this was going to be a sell, we would need to see it stop hunt high. And that's exactly what it did. So it made its move all the way up during Asian and London session. And then what looks to be New York session, it took its drop. So GBP took its drop. So that actually was a pretty good setup. Let me see if anything popped up on the 15-minute. It's not the best. So you do have some divergence here. Right? You have divergence there. You have price going up a little bit. Then you have, it's weird, I can't put it down there. Then you have price going down right here. Right? So that is a little bit of divergence. I don't know why it disappeared. Still getting used to some of this too. I told you I just started it yesterday, but I'll get better with it as time goes on. So we got the divergence. And then that was, I guess, the play out. So you could have entered at the top wherever it stopped hunt high, broke the equal highs, dropped down, formation, entered off the, it's probably this candle. It was this candle. So you enter right here. As soon as that candle closed, this formation appeared, the divergence was set, and you could have entered in. And if you entered from here, the lowest point was 81 pips. Solid. Solid setup. Now let's look at NZD CAD. Now this one was definitely a P formation low. I was looking at it last night, but I didn't really want to trade it. I was in the other one. So let's look at P formation low from 3 days ago. Okay, so it didn't really do anything. And I believe I gotta start taking snapshots of what I think it's gonna do. But Yeah, this just consolidated. This didn't really do anything unless you decided to get in on like these shark fins right here. Right, so you got your shark fins down there. But and that would have only been what, 25 pips? How much was that? 30 pips. I mean, it's a quick intraday trade. It's not bad. I look for bigger moves. Like these are the moves I like to grab and how I trade. Those are the moves I get. And sometimes I'm early and I consolidate or go into drawdown and then move up, but I ultimately get the bigger moves. At least that's how it's been the last 3 weeks straight. So I'm gonna stick with that. But I don't really like this pair just for the fact that it's not really clear. It does. Okay, so it does look like it's going to continue, right? Because this is not a reversal pattern. This is not a reversal pattern whatsoever. This is a continuation pattern. So you have trend line liquidity starting here from the day, went up, and then you have liquidity from here working its way across there, right? So it's just kind of, and on top of that, from this push up here, this was a, damn it, this was the change of character. Broke up for that line, new high, consolidation on the new high, break up one more time. And if it breaks up one more time, we're going to be looking for it to go towards these highs, right? So you got the all 1, 2, 3 hits right near the ADR high. Now, if I go to the higher time frames, let me see the weekly. It's overall itself. So let's look at this. Okay. There. Yep. I think this was actually the pair that I said that you could take a buy on and hold it long term and it would end out. It is the pair. I do remember this. So last night, I was like, if you wanted to swing this trade, you could easily do that and hold it because it is going to break up. And it was either going to do it that night, last night, or it was going to get ready to drop, then do it. So what I'm on the weekly. So depending on how this week closes will depend on exactly how the next what we do next. So I mean, right now it's shooting up and it's been showing the last 3 weeks straight that it's just going to wick. So that means we could see the next push up to meet these other wicks to the high and then get a midweek reversal coming up Wednesday, Thursday for it to drop back down. So that'll be interesting to see play out. But it definitely looks like it wants to shoot up just one more time. And if it does break here, if it breaks these highs, it's breaking the blueberry. We have a new trend, and then it will pull back, and then we're going to be looking for buys from here on out. So I'm very curious to see how this plays out for the rest of the week because this might be a pair that I end up getting in on in the weeks to come. But I would say that look for buys for sure. Stop hunt low buy. Nothing's telling me that it's going to keep going. I mean, the divergence is barely there, right? So you have price going down here. And when I see this type of divergence with this chart pattern, all it tells me is it wants to continue right back up and it'll extend that push up while maintaining the overall divergence. So price will go up like this, be in the overbought zone, and then drop. But the price up here in the candlesticks will go up higher and then drop. And that'll maintain the divergence. So that's most likely what we're going to see. Now let's go to AUD CAD. It's got a T formation low. Weekly. It's throwing a bunch of wicks. Don't care for that. Daily, stuck in consolidation. Right? So you got there. You got here. It's just in a channel. All these pairs are in channels. 4 hour. And what was this again? Peak formation low, so we're looking for buy. I mean, yeah, it actually kind of looks valid for buy. It's just like gold in the other pair. Like, so you have the break of structure, or change of character, I should say. Up, consolidation, down, more consolidation, and then a potentially break back up to either retest the high or go to the ADR high, which is where the blueberry is. So that's what we're gonna be looking for. You got the change of character right here. You have, this is the overall pullback, all this move. The EMAs are tight, so we could see some sort of consolidation essentially, like where it just consolidates more and more and more and then shoots up. We'll see. You got to be careful when it leads to this part because it could just be a breakout trade. But I do like it. I would expect this to maybe drop a little bit more and then continue up. Not my favorite pair tonight, but overall, it does look good for a buy. And then I guess I'll do US 30. See how this played out. Weekly, it started to do some drops. Daily, it's in a consolidation. You got a high from the other day. Now we have some formations happening here. 4 hour. Peak formation low, right? Yeah, peak formation low. It definitely looks like it wants to continue. Because none of the lows were broken here. Right, so you have the W, one push, level 1, consolidation, level 2, consolidation. And this is still technically level 2 because it never broke here. So this could still be that move where it's just one big consolidation for it to then push up. So that I'm going to say it's going to keep going up. It's got one more push. Now, if it doesn't shoot up all the way, what we could see is the potentially rise to here and then a drop. So I'd be careful. I mean, the EMAs are like mega tight. Look at that shit. Like it could do anything. It could do anything right there. You don't want to be too ambitious and try to just buy it right then and there. Like you got to be careful with what you do. But yeah, just I'd look for buys, but be careful. And then I'll do Chief, GBP Chief. I don't want to do the 5-day peak. It's too much. 4-day, I'm even pushing it. Peak formation high, looking for sells on GBP Chief. Well, this one's consolidating like a motherfucker too. Boom. Boom. It's in the middle. It's another thing. You got the highs up here and you got the lows down here, but it's in the middle. What's it gonna do? Go up or down? 4 hour. Okay, so we have a break. Break of structure right here. All right, so you got a new low. You got the bearish candle following. So you got the bearish candle here. Following the bullish candle, pullback. Looks like they're extending this pullback a little higher. And then we're going to be looking for a drop. And it's a peak formation high. So 1, 2, 3, technically 1, 2, 3, 4. It's right here. So peak formation high, stop hunt high, the GBP pair. And then we look for the sells. I would say most likely go up to there. Take out this high. Drop. all the way back down to the low. And let's say that happens. Say it hits right down here. You're getting 44 pips. Not bad. Not too shabby. But yeah, it's looking good. I didn't really use these today because I'm way faster without them just by breaking it down. But I do use them when I'm not actually doing an analysis. It helps me see it a little bit better. So let's see what happens, guys. Not a lot of action tonight, not like something super obvious. So I'm hoping that there's going to be something that happens in the middle of the week. We'll find out. But the best pairs right now, in my opinion, are NZD CAD, USD Chief, but not for a sell. I would say that thing's going to go up a little bit more. If it does drop, it's going to be temporary because that thing definitely wants to go up, but we'll see. And then the pairs I'm in. So with that being said, I'll see you guys tomorrow. If you got questions, let's talk in the group. And yeah, we'll go from there. Peace.